My name's Voisin. I am a redshirt junior on the cross country, indoor and outdoor track and field teams here at Central Michigan University. Well, entering college, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. I really had no idea. And it just kind of developed over time that I wanted to coach in high school. And from there, I've always had this passion of history. And so I kind of got the idea of, oh, maybe I can coach high school and teach. And so they kind of fed off of each other. And so a couple years ago, I decided to sign my major in social studies and minor in history. And I've had a lot of cool classes. Personally, I prefer history that covers, like, within the last couple centuries, American history, whether it's like the Civil War or whatever it may be. I'd say my favorite class that I've taken so far was this past spring semester. I had a class on the history of Native Americans, and that was really cool, being able to see all the different perspectives of the different tribes over time, from colonial America to, well, pre-colonial America to today. So my first real memory, it's kind of hard to say because it just, man, there were a couple races here and there. I guess my first race ever, my first meet ever, I was in the 4x400 meter relay, and I was our third leg, and I got the baton in lane 2. And at that point, after the second leg, you can run in whatever lane you want, which, it makes sense, therefore, to run in lane 1 since that's the shortest way around. And I didn't know any better, so I ran in lane 2 the whole entire lap, which ended up being an extra, I don't know, however many meters that is. But my coach and all my coaches, all my teammates are yelling at me, "Hey, cut in, cut in!" And I heard them, but I didn't want to mess it up and get disqualified, so I kept going. And I think to this day, that's the most anybody's ever cheered or yelled at me, probably because half my team was yelling at me to cut in, and the other half didn't know what was going on. And because I was still running next to, I think I got the baton in second place. So I was right there with the guy who was in first, and I handed off to a better teammate who was a senior, and we ended up winning. And that was kind of a little bit ridiculous. Kind of a rookie mistake, to say the least. Leadership, I think, can mean a lot of different things, and I think it means something different to each person. My approach is, and has always been, just to lead by example. I think actions speak louder than words, which, when I said that, I was just thinking of my actions speak louder than words, which is kind of funny. But, whether it be just doing the little things at practice before and after, when you're around people or when you're not around people, kind of developing that sort of character is really important, because I had someone tell me a long time ago that 90% of people are waiting to follow someone or something, and it could be the smallest thing that sparks something within someone to encourage them to do better, to take on more in the classroom, to take on more at the track, in the weight room. Leading by example can go a long ways, but there are times when you need to be vocal and be positive, and you got to kind of choose your battles with things. But leading by example is something that if you're not doing something, or if you're not going that extra mile, then why should the people around you do the same? And how can you expect that of them if you can't even expect that of yourself? It's pretty cool. I was asked at the end of my freshman year by a teammate if I wanted to do it, and I knew a little bit about it, but I didn't know a whole lot. I just knew that it was an opportunity to help the community, and so I said yes. And this is my third year at the CMU SAC, first year as a MAC leader. And it's something that, to be honest, I'm really excited for. I was born and raised in Mount Pleasant, and one of the big reasons why I wanted to do the SAC was because I wanted to give back to my community. I remember as a kid going to the football and basketball games and watching those great players play, and even just going to the store with my mom and seeing them, um, seeing those big football players, those big time athletes wearing the varsity jackets, and I was just thinking, wow, they're like the coolest people ever. And I know that I wasn't the only kid that thought that. And so being able to give back to the community, not just the student athlete community, not just the CMU community, but the Mount Pleasant, the Mid Michigan community, is huge to me. And we do a lot of events that kind of address that. And so for me, being a MAC leader is only more encouraging that I have more of an opportunity, more of a responsibility to give back to the community that got me here, and not just that, but to get others involved. That's a big focus right now that we're doing on our SAC at CMU, is just trying to get more student athletes involved with the community and with the student body, because that's what it's all about. And if we can do that, then, and if the other CMU SACs can do that, then we can come together as MAC leaders, as a MAC SAC, and try and think of better ways to become a stronger conference, and have more of a voice, not just at the conference level, but at the national level. And it just kind of feeds off of itself pretty much.